Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, good evening.
Welcome to the 6 p.m. webinar from MyS. Welcome wherever you are in Italy or in France or in Spain. And also welcome if you're watching this on replay. Maybe you're watching this later rather than when we are recording it now. Well, we should introduce ourselves first so you know who we are. I'm Danielle and I'm Australian. And I'm one of the teachers in Meravigli, which is one of the schools in Milan. And I've lived in Italy for about 18 months. And I'm joined by...
Hi everyone, my name is Sean. I am Irish. I have been working in the same school as Danielle just since September, so not as long as she has.
So great, some of you are already writing in to tell us your name and where you're from. So welcome Greta, welcome Ricardo. We can see we have some other people watching. So please type in, tell us your name, where you're from, and Sonia as well. Great. So Sonia is a student of Meravigli. Fantastic. And Ricardo's in Rome. Greta's in Udine. Fantastic. So guys, we want to make this focus as interactive as possible. So please, throughout the focus, throughout the webinar, type in your answers so we can share them, and also ask us questions. If you're not sure about something, please ask.
Definitely.
So we've got some more people. Sonia, welcome. Gennaro, welcome. We've got people from all over the country. Greta's been to Australia. Fantastic. Nice to know. She's lived there. Fantastic. Wow. Greta, tell us where you lived. I'm curious. Julio, excellent. From Milan. Yeah, fantastic. So guys, we have a great topic to discuss, right? Remember, a topic, the general issue, the environment, something which obviously people are much more aware about today than maybe 40 years ago. So I'm sure it's something you all have an opinion on. So in detail, this is what we're going to talk about today. So number one, discussing environmental problems and solutions. All right. This second one, modal verbs. All right. These are certain types of verbs that we use in English a lot. Maybe you don't know them. Maybe you know some of them. Okay, but they're really important. So this might be a little introduction to them. And then at the end, phrases to talk about the future. Okay, so the first slide. Sean, do you want to read this one?
Sure, so this is a little quiz. We have 5 statements. They are true or false. So I'll read through them, and everyone who's commenting, please say, do you think number 1, 2, 3 are true or false? So number 1, over 1 million plastic bags are used every year worldwide. 1 trillion, excuse me, not 1 million. All newspapers in the United Kingdom are 100% made out of recycled paper. The amount of food that is wasted in Europe could feed 200 million people. You should always rinse cans before recycling them. It is better to do the dishes with a sponge than with the dishwasher.
Okay, so some interesting questions. There's some interesting language in these sentences. Okay. So, what are some of the interesting interesting words? Maybe, do you guys know what to waste means? Yeah, it's a verb. This is the past tense. To waste, it's when you don't make good use of something. Okay? You have an opportunity, but you don't use it. Okay. Sonia said she's done this lesson 3 times. Well, sorry, Sonia, but yeah, if you don't remember anything, it's okay.
It's good to revisit the topic so you can see what you can remember.
What does this mean? This is another verb. Does anyone know? So there's feed. Also this word here, rinse. Another verb. It's quite interesting. And maybe this word here is maybe is new. A sponge. So tell us if you know what any of those words mean. Oh, Sonia knows.
Yes, she's given Italian translation for feed and rinse, which I think are correct, although my Italian is not perfect.
Yeah. So to feed, we're not supposed to use Italian, I know. I think it's like da mangiare, but it's like to give food to someone else. So you usually feed a baby or you feed an animal. Usually they're the only people or things that you feed. Yep, and Sonia, yeah, exactly. So a sponge, what you wash something with. You wash the dishes with a sponge. Very good. Excellent.
Yes, Sonia. It's exactly what rinse is, I would say.
Yeah, perfect. Well done, guys. So, what do you think the answers are to these questions? Sean and I will do them as well. Sen, just tell us what you think. Just do the number and then true or false. So, number 1, I think number 1 is true.
Gennaro thinks it's uncountable, it's uncountable, it's impossible to count that many, which I I see your point, but I do think we use far too many plastic bags.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, lots of people saying true. What do you think, Sean?
Yeah, we'll go with true.
Okay, let's see what we say. Yes, true. Do we have a little explanation? No. Okay, number 2. All newspapers in the United Kingdom are 100% made out of recycled paper. This is a bit strange. Out of. Another way to say that is from. It's made from something. Okay. Lots of people saying true. Yep, I think it's true. Yay. Yep. Okay. Number 3, food wastage. This is a big problem everywhere, I think. What have we got? Number 3. Ricardo thinks it's false. Sonia, true. Anyone else have any ideas? I think it's true.
Julia would like to know what amount means. This just means the quantity, really, the number, the level of food wasted, the quantity, the amount. It's we use it in mathematics a lot, but if you talk about an amount of something, it's just a collection of something, a quantity of something. I don't know if I've been that clear.
Yeah, it's a quantity. It means the same thing as quantity, I would say. So we've got lots of people saying true. Yes, that is terrible. Okay, number 4. I think this is true. Do you do this, Sean?
Yes, I do always, and I was taught that we're supposed to, so true.
See what they say. What? Okay. So there is no need to rinse the cans before recycling. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's just to stop the recycling bin from smelling. I
Yeah,
don't know.
maybe. No. I'm sure it helps though when we do it.
Yeah.
What about number 5? A few people guessed false. Number 5, Julia says true, Sonia false. Hey, we've got both Sonias.
Mhm.
Other Sonia false. True. What do you think, Sean?
I feel that it's true. I tend to prefer doing the dishes than using a dishwasher, but I'm not sure.
I think maybe in the past it was true, but now dishwashers are very water efficient. They use, I think they use water
Mhm.
well. Let's see what they say. So it's false. So if your dishwasher doesn't use too much water and energy, it is better to use it. That's interesting.
Mhm.
Julia, someone had a very good question about feed. Sorry, guys. It's one of the guys.
Gennaro.
Yeah.
Here it is.
So it's a very good question. So the other main way that feed is used, like recently, is in relation to social media. So, for example, you can talk about your feed on Twitter, and that is the scroll of messages on Twitter. That is your feed. Or Instagram. When you open Instagram and you scroll through, that's your feed. Okay, so it's a noun in that sense. That's the only other way I can think that it's used. Sean, do you have any ideas?
Well, you could also use it in a more metaphorical way, kind of feeding an idea or something like that. But
Yeah,
no, I mean, I would say it's always that idea of giving food, giving nutrition to.
yeah, that is the main way it's used. Ricardo says there's now an economic program for dishwashers. It's good to know. Yeah, so Gennaro, a news feed, exactly. Like I said, so like on social media, when you scroll through, that is your feed. Okay. Feedback, yeah, that's a different thing. All right, guys, well done. Very good. So, what do you do to protect the environment? So, tell us, if you write to us, and let us know what you do to help protect the environment. Maybe we should address, if we look at Gennado's question while you're all writing in. So, what does feedback mean? It's a good question. Sean, do you want to explain it, or I can? So it can be, feedback is usually a noun, and it means when you want a response or an evaluation from someone. So, for example, I'm at work. I've worked at MyS for 18 months. I ask my boss for feedback. I want him to tell me if I'm doing a good job or a bad job. Okay? So it's an evaluation of you. It's usually in a work sense. Okay. We've got some good answers coming in. Ricardo, yeah, great. We've got some great answers. Ricardo uses less maybe as little plastic as possible. Don't waste water. Very good, Sonia, that's perfect. Yeah. When they don't need to be on.
Greta reuses, recycles. She buys organic products. Yeah, that's great. Sonia, I usually go to work on foot or by bike. I use the car only for long distances. Yeah, great. It's a big difference, the car. And Raisa, we recycle the plastic. Crystal and paper, it's a good idea. Maybe you mean glass, Raisa. In English, crystal is a very expensive form of glass. So just in general, we talk about glass. And then the other Sonia, I use the bicycle to go somewhere near. I would say for short distances we had. The other Sonia say long distances, and we can talk about short distances as well. Great stuff, everyone. And Greta walks instead of using the car, taking the car. Yeah.
Very good. And Julio says he reads his books on Kindle so I can save trees. Excellent. Well done, guys. Let's see what, here we go. So some of you recycle, some of you to save energy, you turn the lights off. And to use environmentally friendly products. Yeah, someone said that they buy organic products, which is very good. Sean, what do you do?
Well, I feel like I don't do enough personally. It's something I worry about. With products, I try to think about, things like soap and shampoos and toiletries, that there's no microbeads are a big problem, I know. So I try to look for natural products without these microbeads, which plastic that ends up in the ocean.
Yeah.
And yeah, I try not to buy fast fashion either. So, cheap fashion that's a lot of changes, things like Zara and H&M, because they're very bad for the environment, the practices of those companies.
Yeah.
Anything else that you do, Danielle?
I try not to use too much plastic. And so I have my water bottle is like this. Gennaro, I don't know if that's what you mean by hot, cold bottle. Maybe that's what you mean, because it can be hot. You have hot things in it or cold things. You can call it a thermos. Okay. Yeah.
There are those ones for coffees that you call keep cups, which are a bit different. They have a name, keep cup. They're very trendy. But in Italy, people don't really take coffee with them, so they're not so much of a thing here, I don't think.
Yeah, Gennaro. So that one I showed, you can say it's a thermos or just a water bottle. I use it for water, so it's a water bottle. But yeah, I don't use much plastic. I don't use very much plastic, and I try not to. I haven't had a car for 10 years. I have a car now, but I only use it once every 2 weeks to leave Milan. That's all. Okay. What else have we got? Sonia, we use only bottle of glass. So we would say glass bottles. Okay. A glass, we could do it the other way around. Very good. Let's move on. Okay. Sean, do you want to read these?
Yes, so on this slide, we're matching vocabulary to these pictures, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, G, and H. So I will read through the vocab. I'll leave a pause afterwards so you can practice the pronunciation maybe. And yeah, in the comments, match them. You guys know the drill at this point. So water or air pollution, factories, pesticides, traffic, waste, deforestation, global warming, and greenhouse gases.
So some of them I'm sure you've heard of before. I'm sure you know some of them. Maybe some of them are a bit new. All right. And so, okay, we've already got some answers. So Sonia, and is it Elaine? I'm not too sure how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. Alan. Okay, they both say traffic, and yes, you are right. All right. We see traffic. Lots of cars. B. Okay, B, we've got some people saying factories. Yeah. Some people saying air pollution. Yeah, this is sort of could be either of them, really. Yeah, I think that could be either of them. But because I think there's another one that could be air pollution. So this one is factories, but who said so? Air pollution, Julio. Yeah, that does look like air pollution as well. I think that's fine. C. Okay. Sonia says water pollution. Elaine says global warming. Others say global warming. All right, let's have a look. So it's a bit hard to see, but I think it's all rubbish. Okay, so it's water pollution. It's things in the water making it bad. So D. Right, greenhouse gases. So you know greenhouse gases are a number of gases that are mainly responsible for global warming. Yeah. Okay. Got a few different answers, which is nice to see because there's some of these are a bit tricky.
Sonia thinks global warming for E. Alain thinks water and air pollution. There is definitely some water there, but I don't know if you can see what's happening in the picture. I think it's a melting ice cap, a melting piece of polar ice. So I think it's global warming.
Yeah. So it's the idea that all the ice is melting around the North Pole and the South Pole, which is obviously awful for the animals that are living there. Why lots of animals are endangered in those areas. F, this is a hard one, but Sonia's got it. So maybe you can't see for the others. Maybe it's hard to see what this person is doing, but yeah, it's pesticides. So he's spraying. So to spray is when you make little water droplets everywhere. He's spraying, some type of chemical to stop pests eating the plants or destroying the plants. Okay. So G, here are lots of logs, lots of wood. It's deforestation. Yep. And so finally, waste. Yeah.
Another word I would use for when you have rubbish like this on the street is litter.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not. Lots of people ask that in class. How we describe it. So yeah, litter. It can be a noun or a verb. So it can also be a verb. Sometimes you see signs, they say don't litter. It means don't put your rubbish on the ground. You must put your rubbish in the bin. Okay. Sonia says the final one is the most difficult. Yeah, I think in this situation, they're saying there's too much waste in the world. People create too many things that we don't consume. I think that's what it's saying. All right. Sean, do you want to read this?
Gennaro. Yeah, I will. Gennaro has a question that I'm not sure about. Litter is more English or American or both. I think maybe it is British English. I know that Americans talk about trash and the trash can for
Yeah.
just rubbish. I'm not sure. Do you know, Danielle?
No, I'm not. No, I don't. I think litter you probably do use in America because it's yeah, I think they probably do use it as well. But
Mhm,
yes, you're right. Waste, like Americans use the word waste a lot.
mhm.
But you can use it in both countries. Okay,
Yeah.
guys, that's a
All
good.
right.
Sorry, before we go on, that's a good point. All of the words that you learn in the webinars and at MyS, as we say, sometimes there's American English and British English, but you can use both of them in either country. Okay, you just need to remember one of them. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's the American word or the British word, and maybe for another word, you remember the other one. It's okay because we all understand. We understand Americans and Americans understand us. So
Yeah.
don't worry too much about where they're from.
Mhm. Yeah. So the causes of pollution. What are some causes of air pollution, water pollution, and global warming? So we have six words here: greenhouse gases, traffic, pesticides, factories, deforestation, and waste. And we have to put them all in one of these three categories. So do they come under the category of water, air, pollution, or global warming? What are they contributing to?
Exactly. So we've already got some answers coming in. Okay. I think maybe some of them could go in both, go in two or three things maybe. So let's see what people are saying. Okay, we've got lots coming in. So for traffic, it creates air pollution. Now, water pollution, pesticides. Yeah, a few people have said that. Deforestation, global warming. Yeah, because it produces less oxygen. Okay, let's see what some of them say. Okay, so greenhouse gases. Yeah, global warming. Very good. Some of you had that. That's interesting. So pesticides, water pollution. Yep. I guess maybe air pollution as well. What do you
Mm.
think, Sean?
Well, I know, coming from the countryside, it's a big issue that the rain tends to wash pesticides into rivers and streams. I mean, certainly it goes into the air, there's a smell, but I think it's the main issue is water pollution, as far as I know.
Okay. I didn't know that. I learned something as well. Very good. You guys what's the next one that we've got? So deforestation. Yeah. So a few people, Elaine says global warming. Someone else said global warming earlier. Yeah, exactly. Less trees means less oxygen in the air. Yeah. Traffic. This is a good example of at the moment. I'm sure a lot of you have seen those images that show the level of air pollution in the world and how it's much lower at the moment. In particular, obviously in China, but also in northern Italy. It's where the air pollution is usually very bad.
Yeah. They've said that there's a bit of a link between air pollution and the severity of the coronavirus as well, because it damages the lungs. It's very scary to think that it's having such an impact in Milan, especially.
Yeah, I've read that as well. It's interesting. So I think someone actually had mentioned that there's less traffic at the moment, which is very true. Yeah, Sonia had said. So in this period, there isn't very much. Okay, there isn't very much pollution. Excellent. And the next one, factories. I think some of you have this. Air pollution, like the picture. But they also, factories could also cause water pollution if they pump their waste into the water. Some factories create sort of waste that ends up in the water. So it could also be water pollution. And obviously waste generally, often ends up in the water, sadly. Gennaro was telling Sonia that pollution will start again very soon. Yeah, maybe, unfortunately. Well done, guys. You did that really well. I'm trying to see if there's any questions. Yeah, so Ricardo has said the answers could fit into more than one category. I agree. I think so as well. All right. Okay, let's go on. Okay. So we have a big long text with some words missing. Here are the missing words. And they're all words from the previous slides. So you know what they all mean. So the title of this text, Environmental Awareness. All right, so it's all about thinking about the environment, okay, and treating it with respect. So we need to fill in the gaps with the correct words. All right, so we can read through so you can hear the pronunciation. And you should read it out loud yourself at home. Sean, do you want to read the start and I'll do the last paragraph?
Sure. So what might happen if we don't stop polluting the environment? Many of us agree that cars are a big problem. They cause breathing problems in big cities and also release carbon monoxide, which is a something. They are a major cause of something and something else. So next time you go to work, don't get stuck in something. Walk or cycle instead.
Something. Release gases to and something means fewer trees provide us with oxygen. We should also think about the Earth's water. Farmers use something, and most of our something is thrown in the oceans. This causes something and kills sea animals. One day we will have solutions to all of these problems, or at least I hope so. So if you want to, you can send us all of the words in the right order, or maybe include the word before and the word after with the correct word in the middle. You can decide. Okay. Just leave it a little bit so that you can think about them. Let us know if there are any words in there you don't understand. Okay. I'm looking through. Can't see anything that looks really obvious that we should explain, but let us know. We've already got some coming in. Got number 1. Okay, a few people saying number 2 is, so number 1, some say greenhouse gas. Some say traffic. Okay. Number 2, traffic or air pollution. Okay, there's lots of differences here, which is good. Okay, we'll wait a little longer just to see. Okay, it looks like they're all streaming in, which is good. So let's see. So the first one, yeah, it's a greenhouse gas. Right? Carbon monoxide is a greenhouse gas. All right, so these are one of greenhouse gases are a major cause of. What do greenhouse gases cause? Some people, we've got air pollution and global warming. Sonia, Gennaro, Ricardo, other Sonia. Yep, well done, guys. Oh, sorry, I clicked that accidentally. But I think you guys knew. Yeah, so you get stuck in traffic. So we use this quite a lot, this expression, stuck in traffic. So if you're late, when you arrive, you tell your boss, I'm sorry, I was stuck in traffic. So the idea is stuck means when you're connected with something and you can't get away. So that's the idea. It's like you are glued to where you are. Okay, so the next one. Yep, so Riza, yeah, I agree. Sonia, very good. Factories. Factories release gases. And the next one, I think you guys must know this. I think this is similar in Italian. Sonia's got it. Keep going. Yeah, well done, Sonia. Had it. I'm sure some of you guys had it too. We know there's a lag on this, so we know there's a delay. Yeah, so deforestation means fewer trees. We should also think about the Earth's water. Farmers use. What's a big thing that farms use? Farms grow things. Yeah, well done, Sonia. They use pesticides. And most of our, well done, I think you guys know this. Most of our waste is thrown in the oceans. This causes water pollution and kills sea animals. It's quite a complex, like wordy text. Well done. You guys did well. And sometimes these concepts can be quite similar, the different environmental concepts, but you did really well. Okay, very good. Let's go on. Okay, so here we have another text about climate, about the environment. Now, in here we have modal verbs, right? So there's 7 modal verbs in here. And maybe you know what modal verbs are, maybe you don't. But to start with, maybe we should read it and then you guys tell us what you can see in there, if you can see any examples. Sean, did you want to read it?
Absolutely. By 2050, climate change could create 150 million climate refugees. Clearly, we must change our lifestyle. We should carpool, recycle, and save as much energy as possible. But some scientists say that is not enough, and it is time for factories and multinational companies to find other solutions. Otherwise, there will be more natural disasters. What can we do to save our planet? There are many things we could do, but we will probably have to wait a bit longer before things change. Bleak.
Yeah, no, it's not very upbeat. Yeah, let us know. As we said, there are 7 modals in here. Tell us if you can find any of them, right? Just type them to us. Also, in the meantime, maybe we should explain some of the words in here.
Yeah, I just saw carpool there,
Yeah.
which is an interesting one, and this is to share car journeys. People who go to the same work or go to the same school, they carpool together. Very common for schools, carpooling.
Yeah, like if any of you guys use blah blah, the car service when you travel, that's basically carpooling. What else have we got? I think it's okay. So climate refugees. Okay, so you know a refugee is someone who needs to move countries or move locations because they are a victim of something. They need to move for protection. And that's what, so the idea of a climate refugee, someone that must move because their environment is affected so badly by the climate. Okay, all right, we've got some answers coming in. So let's see what we've got. So Sonia says, so could, must, should, will, can, could, will. Could, must, should, can. Yeah. Other Sonia. Very good. Okay. Elaine's got a slightly different one at the end. Have to. Okay. Well done. Okay, so let's see. Well done. So, well, some of you at least, you know about some modals. Excellent. So let's see where we are. So could, exactly. Well done. Must. Should carpool. Will. Can. Could. Will. Okay, well done. And obviously, sorry, I forgot who said it. Yeah, have to. Well done. Have to is more like a semi-modal. Is that right, Sean? You feel like?
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, have to. I think we can say that's also, we can include that in this category.
Don't worry about semi-modals. They function the same way as modals, but they're not actually modal verbs.
Exactly. So well done. Very good. Now, let's talk a little about, we've only got a few minutes. Let's talk about these modal verbs. Okay. So, Sean, do you want to maybe do a little bit and then I can do a little bit?
Yeah, so use modal verbs and the sentences below to give advice on ways to protect the environment. So we have lots of possible actions: recycling, reusing, using public transport, different verbs we can use in this context. Then we have the modals that you could accompany with a statement you would create. With a modal, you follow it by a main verb in the infinitive without to. So you could save, you could reduce. Just to briefly explain the difference between some of the modals, could is a possibility, a suggestion, a possibility. Should is more of a recommendation, the right thing to do, the correct thing to do. Must is an obligation. Must is stronger than could or should. Do you want to explain the next three,
Yep.
Danielle?
So may is similar to could. All right. It's a possibility. We also use may to ask permission for things. Okay. May I borrow a pencil? Okay. Might is the same as may. All right. It's a possibility. It might rain tomorrow. Okay. It's possible it will rain. And can, ability. Now, so for example, I can, this evening, I can have a drink in my living room, right? Because I can't go anywhere else, all right? It's ability. Guys, you will learn all of these in a lesson, all right? Modal verbs are a very big topic in English, and you will learn them. You will spend lots of time on them in English. Sorry, in the lessons. So don't worry about them if this is the first time you're sort of using them.
Mm-hmm.
But we've got some great answers coming in.
Yeah. So, Sonia, we could recycle paper and glass to save the planet. Absolutely. It's a possibility for us to do. We could use less paper, Eeyore, and glass to save money. Yeah, I think it's saving the environment is our main goal, Gennaro. You should turn off lights to reduce energy use. So the use of energy, I would say, would make more sense there. We should reuse plastic bags to reduce water pollution. Yeah, it's a big problem. Plastic bags in the water for fish, especially.
Very good. Well done, guys. So we'll probably have to, we've only got a minute left, so we'll probably have to leave it there, but you guys did a great job. Obviously, so just doing a quick recap, we looked at sort of the different terms that we use for environmental problems, okay, or the general language and terminology, some of which is quite complex. I think you guys did really well in this area. Okay, we talked at the different effects that they have. All right. Obviously did some more work on those words, and then we looked at the modals. Okay, I think you did really well with the modals because these can be quite difficult. It can be quite an advanced topic. So yeah, excellent work. So with that, we'll have to say good evening. Thanks so much for being such an amazing group. You were you were excellent with all of your comments. That was a fantastic webinar.
Yeah, I see. It's doing some of you well to be watching several webinars. I recognize some of the names. So yeah, keep it up. It seems to be really helping you guys.
Okay, have a fantastic weekend, and we might see you next week on a webinar or in class. See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.